Yo, 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 it's your boy Mark Goodman, aka the voice box of the block. I'm back with another one. You already know I'm super excited to be here. We had the pop-up. It's going down Juneteenth. First of all, happy Juneteenth. Happy Freedom Day. It's our freedom. Before I get started, I got a special guest. It's the second time we did this, but this is the first time we're together doing it. GiGi, what's happening?
It's a whole lot of nothing going on today. Well, let me rephrase. It's a whole lot of nothing with me, but it's a whole lot of everything going on right now. Thank you so much for having me.
Man,
again,
listen.
As a friend of the show.
Man, I'm so excited to be here, man. We actually at the pop up, man. June 19th pop up, man. We moving around, some people shopping, and I'm excited, man. We finally got it done. My wife finally got it done. You know, she made it happen, and I'm glad I got GiGi on board, and she came through, and she been doing a wonderful job of going around and buying and moving around and talking to everybody. I'm just super excited that it's working in our favor, and we continue to stir it up. We're here at 3 o'clock. We're going to get into a topic. We're going to get into a topic for y'all in a minute, but we're just moving around doing our thing. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We're just making it happen already. We're just doing it, and you know, GiGi, what kind of stuff we got out here, man? What all we got out here?
Well, you know, right now, it's a national holiday. It's federal holiday. It's
Juneteenth federal holiday. Yeah.
Federally recognized as the end of chattel slavery as we know it.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you why I'm so excited about it being a federal holiday. We don't have to guess no more.
Right.
They don't have to guess no more.
Right.
I'm sorry. It's a federal holiday. You know what it is, so you got to celebrate it. I don't know if your job's going to let you off, but you should get off, you know, and you should buy fireworks. And it's a tradition-changing moment because now we have to change our tradition. If you pop fireworks on July 4th, you might have to get ready to pop them on June 19th because that's when you should pop them for you. It's a special event for everybody. It's our freedom. It's a big deal. We got to make it a big. Just because it's a federal holiday doesn't mean if we don't make it, it'll be that. We got to make it big. We got to support it.
Traditions for your family.
Thank you. That's what I'm trying to say.
You know, what people fail to realize is celebrations and holidays are man-made.
Right.
So we, the society, determines what is considered a holiday.
Right.
What is considered something that should be recognized on a societal basis.
Right.
I find it a bit shocking that it's a holiday because it's literally acknowledgement of enslavement. It's acknowledgement.
It is.
It's acknowledging that it happened because unfortunately we know it happened, but for a lot of things it's kind of like we know it happened, but let's not really address it.
Yes.
It's the big elephant in the room, and the fact that they're even acknowledging it is.
So I mean, how do you feel about it?
How do I feel about Juneteenth?
I mean, how do you feel about it being recognized as a national holiday?
I mean, I think it's dope. Like,
give me your real. Give me your real. You know.
Okay.
I got you. Give me the real.
Joe, this is. Let me say this.
Right.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I don't want to be that person that you give me something and I'm ungrateful. Thank you for the acknowledgement. But that's not what we asked for.
Right.
That's not what we asked for.
It's not at all.
This is the literal. Let me not say literal. This is figuratively what I imagine in my head when they told me that Juneteenth is a federal holiday, which I'm very grateful for. This is how I imagine the setup went in my head. I'm Joe Biden right now. Yeah. Who's out there? It's Keisha. Keisha want to talk to you, Joe. All right, send her in.
Right.
Joe, the police is still out here killing our kids.
They is.
What can you do to help me?
Right.
Keisha, I really appreciate you voting for me, and thank you so much for your kindness. And here's $600. And Keisha leaves out.
Right.
And then couple, 2 months later, I'm Joe again. Hey, who's out there? Who's looking for me? It's Gerald. Gerald's out here. He wants to talk to you.
Right.
Did he get the $600 we sent him? Yeah, he got it, but he still wants to speak with you, Mr. President.
Right.
Okay, send him in.
Right. And I'm gonna tell
Gerald,
you.
how can I help you? The police still killing us, Mr. Biden.
Right,
and I just don't understand what I can do to make it better. Like, can you do anything about it, Mr. Biden?
Right.
Yeah. I see what I can do. How's $300 for 6 months sound? Here you go, Gerald. And then he sends Gerald out the way. And now, here we are again. Mr. President, you have a visitor. Who is it? It's Geraldine. She wants to talk to you. Did she get the $600? Yes. Did she get the $300 child tax credit I gave her for 6 months in July? Yeah, she's getting it. Then what else could she possibly want? I've given these black folks everything that I can possibly give them. What do they want? Send her in. Okay, Mr. President. You know, I've been a faithful Democratic voter. And
Right.
I support you, Mr. President. And they still out here killing my kids. What can I do what can you do to make it easier for us? Can you pass an anti-black crime bill? Can you do something that assists in making sure that there's no anti-hate against black people the way you did for the Asian community? How's making Juneteenth a federal holiday sound, Claudine? Mr. President, that's not what I asked you for. The police is out here killing our kids. Can you do something about it? Here's a T-shirt. So that's my thoughts about
That's
it.
that's the whole how the concept went.
Yeah, that's what I think. I
Up
don't care what happened. In my head, that's what I visualize happened.
So I'm gonna ask you this, without getting too political, but again, you know that it was a political move. What else do we asking for? For me personally, I would like for them to work on the training of the police laws and things of that nature. The training on that. I would like for Joe to try to buckle down on that as well as some other things. But we so far behind in America. Things like this, you just gotta say, okay, thank you. We take anything.
But how long?
We take anything right about now.
How long have we been eating these quote unquote shit sandwiches and just eating them and saying thank you? How many more of these sandwiches am I gonna have to eat?
Listen,
because I really feel that it comes a point that if black people keep saying the same exact thing, when is anyone gonna take it serious?
Listen, we're gonna always have to turn. Listen, this is real life. Even with everything that's going on, even with some little politics, we always gonna have to turn chitlins into a delicacy. They always gonna give us shit, and we're gonna have to turn it into something much more positive. They're not going to give us what we really asked for. But we're going to have to turn. We're going to whatever they give us, we're going to have to spin it and turn it. Like we record.
At what point does it become that
we good, Mama? We record. We actually go live for real.
We got Mama Good Guy. We got Mama Good Guy on the podcast today, guys. Mark almost got a whooping on the podcast, guys. Did y'all see it? Mama Phyllis almost gave Mark a whooping on the podcast, y'all.
You gotta be professional.
He almost got sent to his room by Mama Phyllis.
Try to be professional.
And I was finna get made to go home. And she was gonna call and tell my mama about what happened.
But anyway, as you were saying,
I feel that we are always just eating the shit sandwich. And I also feel that it comes a time to where no one else is required to just take it the way we are.
Nah, not at all. Not at all.
And I think that what America needs to realize, and I'm definitely a person of inclusion, and I'm also a person of, I'm a person of inclusion and exclusivity, if that makes sense.
Right.
Because I believe that everyone should feel important, but I also believe that people do reserve the right to hold on to what is theirs.
Absolutely.
As far as an exclusivity. But I do think that one thing that I see wrong about this is not what we asked for. Right. It's not what we asked for, and I just feel like everybody else makes it a point to where if I tell you I want this and you don't do it, there's a consequence.
Right.
There's no consequence for placating us. There's no consequence for spitting in our faces.
No, absolutely.
Because all you have to do is go away and come back in 2 weeks and reinvent yourself, and we'll play with you again.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that's the problem. We don't enforce, and we also don't discriminate. And I feel like every other culture does. Every other culture gets to say up front as a gatekeeper, this is mine.
So what you saying is, in order for us to move ahead, we got to get like them. We got to discriminate. We got to show the same energy. What's that? What energy you give me, I'm gonna give it back to you. That's what we got to kick it. So as black folks in 2021,
the way that black people need to really start kicking it is the way.
I'm gonna tell you, because we kick it amongst ourselves now. In the black community, we'll kick that energy amongst ourselves, but
when it's time to really kick that energy, it ain't time to kick that energy.
They won't do it with the people that they need to kick it with.
And I'm not saying by no means, by me saying this, am I saying for you to discount someone else? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that instead of being so exclusive with welcoming everybody with ours, how about we start to protect what's ours until we build it back to its being stronger, and then we can invite people to come and love what is us.
Right.
It's like we keep showcasing a broken house.
Yes.
Quit and letting everyone else can come into our communities and live.
Absolutely.
Off of our culture, and then take our culture from us and then tell us it's theirs.
Yes.
That's nobody else can. You cannot go into Chinatown as a Negro and go set up a black barbershop.
It won't happen.
But they can come into our
neighborhood. I'm gonna tell you another thing. They don't typically compete with each other. It could be 4 or 5 Great Walls on the same street, but these Great Walls are not competing. All the prices are the same.
It's enough room for all of them.
You can go to a hair store. You go into a hair store, exact same thing.
Right.
I promise you right now, they're not competing with the prices. They're not competing with each other.
It's enough room for everybody.
But for us, if I get a podcast, I got to be competing with GiGi.
So this is all we got right here. And we got to fight for that.
We got to fight for it. Instead of us sharing to make 2 of them,
right?
We got to fight for that to only get 1.
No. Instead of us not looking at this and looking at the 17,000 other ones that was over there in the corner.
Right.
And we fighting about this one.
Absolutely. And I think we got to stop that. I think that there's, like you said, there's enough pie for everybody.
Right.
And if we can just stay in tune and stay focused on us, right, everything else will work itself out.
Right.
It really would. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that if we can do that, we'll move ahead financially. We'll have our own space, and we'll not look for other help outside of everything. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing I'm looking for.
I think, listen, once again, I don't ever want to sound ungrateful. Right. I don't recognize any federal holiday if it means I'm going to be paid off from work for it.
They're going to work me anyway because I make plastic.
Right.
So
if I'm scheduled to work, I want $400 an hour, Joe. Huh?
Yeah, but moving right along. Outside of the holiday, what does Juneteenth mean to you? I'll tell you what it means to me.
So we started this tradition with my family because I find it very important that I pass on with my children to instill pride in what you come from. So we started about 5 years ago doing. My grandfather would talk to us about Juneteenth, but it wasn't something that I made a tradition, so to speak, with my family until about 5 years ago. So we treat it like 4th of July. We got T-shirts, matching outfits. It's a cookout. It's everybody having a good time. You know, holidays are about fellowship with friends and family for the most part, being around the ones that you love.
Right.
So, now one thing that we also tried to do in these last couple of years is that on Juneteenth we go around and ensure that we make sure that we go out of our way to buy black.
Yes.
Which we do that anyway, but we make an honest effort of go out of our way to make sure that we buy black. We make it a thing to where every single Juneteenth, everything we do that day is completely black. I don't touch. We try to make sure everything we do that day is black owned.
Right.
I go to this person for this, and it may be something that I may not necessarily need at that time. But
exactly.
I just want to spend my money with an overlooked community. Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of your things that you're trying to set for your family is exact with what I'm trying to set for my family as well. Like I said, we celebrated with the fireworks, and we also try to make sure we buy black. And I think you should have a conscious effort of buying black every day through the week. You should try to buy black. And I know it's a challenge because we don't have a lot. So it's like we can't go to Walmart or when we need the necessities. A lot of these black-owned businesses are very small, so they might not have everything we need. But if we can continue to try, we buy those plates, they will have it.
They will have it.
You got to invest in. Again, we're talking about supporting is one thing, but when you building someone, you got to take your hard-earned money and give it to them and support them. You know what I mean? Now, it's a thing where people will say, oh, well, they ain't got this, they ain't got that, and have complaints. But I've seen a lot of people complain about McDonald's and go back every single time.
Their ice cream machine is always broken and never stopped you from getting a Big Mac.
I have never seen nobody stop going to McDonald's, but they complain about it every day. So if there's a complaint about a family-owned restaurant, there's a way to complain about it, but the same, don't tear it down because you still go to McDonald's and eat.
You still go.
And that's just they always have something to complain about.
That lady at the Great Wall treats you like a dog. It ain't never stopped you from eating them chicken wings, has it? That lady at that Great Wall treats you like a stone cold dog. She don't care nothing about you.
You know what I'm saying?
She don't care nothing about you.
But
she actually don't respect you at all. She don't care nothing about you, and you go in there and still order a number 6.
Yes.
Every Friday, like clockwork.
Yes, and I think that we should just be aware of that and just try to support, not knocking any other race or religion, culture, or whatever. But we just want to make sure we're identifying the blackness, and that's why we got the pop up. And before we can dive in, I know you went around and you kind of touched base with everybody here. Talk about some of the stuff that's here if you can get it in your head.
So we got quite a few vendors here.
We got
it's about
20
vendors in here right now. They have a multitude of things. We have people who have natural products, whipped butters, body oils, soaps. There's a lady here called Nikki's Unique Fashions. She makes jewelry, and all of her jewelries are handcrafted, made with natural products. Nothing's made with nickel or lead, or everything's made from natural products. Red clay, bentonite, rasul, things like that. There's a woman here that she has a business called Clutch My Pearls, and she sells statement piece purses. Ladies, get into your fashion, sis. Get into your fashions. Clutch My Pearls has fashions. And it's just a multitude of things. So we also have some vendors here who are selling
all natural skin products. Amara, she has a wonderful line of all natural skin products using the shea butter, man. I use that, and I ain't not gonna lie. When I get out of the shower, I put that shit on everything.
You should. Men's skin matters.
That shea
men's
butter
skin
is
matters.
all natural, and I don't want no scented shea butter.
Right.
I know that's for my wife, but for me, I just like the regular raw shea butter.
That's what I like. Regular.
And I put that shit on anything.
I take raw shea butter and olive oil, mix it together.
Yeah. Right? And I think these are things that we need, and it's growing, and this is one of many that my wife is going to put together.
Capri candles made from soy products.
It's one of many.
They're slow release candles that they permeate the room. They don't just fill up the room with the scent and then dissipate. They're literally slow release candles that are long lasting, great smells, all natural products. I mean, how can this not be something that you'd want to put into your home? Candles set the mood, the ambiance, and we are sensory based people. We live off smells, sights, taste. Come on in here and get these candles.
Yeah, man. 680 Fairview Road. 680
Fairview Road, guys.
This is going to be edited, and you're probably going to see this late, so you're going to be, if you're not here, you're going to miss it. But don't forget, there's another one and another one and another one. So when you watch this, you'll know this energy. You'll know what we do, how we do, and you can join the next one. And because, the good guys want to be everywhere where it's live, where the media at, because people don't realize podcast is black media. My podcast is black media. You know what I'm saying? And podcasts in general are media based. And you got to be where the in crowd is at, where things is at, where things is happening. And I'm in the upstate, and I provide the best services in the upstate. And I support small businesses. I support small local artists. So if you're an artist and you wish to want me to play your music for a small fee of $4, I will play it at the end of my podcast each and every time. I play all type of genre music, so it doesn't matter what type of genre of music that you do. I play it. I spin it, for a small fee of $4, and get you a platform that you can kind of show, everybody
that
your
exposure.
Skill. I'm showing love.
Right. That's what it's about. It's about what you get out. They say you get back what you put out.
Right.
I feel like the older I get, the more I'm starting to not believe in karma.
Wow, boy, that's I'm gonna put you. I think you can change karma by changing what you put out.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
I'll take that. If you change the way you walk around and move, you can definitely correct your karma. Now, if it come, but I think you can correct it.
And the only reason I said that I don't believe in karma.
But I like how you said that. I got to write that down.
I'm glad you said that because I should not be as blessed as I am because of my karma. I shouldn't be. I've been a horrible person.
You have? I don't think you've been a horrible person.
Oh, I done been a horrible person.
You've been 1K.
I've been a great person, but
I don't think you've been a horrible person.
So let me say this: I've had great moments in my life, but when I've been bad, I'm bad.
Me too. I'm bad,
I'm bad. I'm gonna
tell you something. When I was younger, I was in my youth. I was very juvenile. I ain't gonna lie, I was very juvenile. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, now I feel like I'm older. I'm more wiser. And so things have changed absolutely for me. So, but when I was younger, I was very juvenile. I did all kinds of things, stole and broken houses.
My fair share of wrong things.
I'm from Woodruff, Urban Street. So, but
I like how you said that you changed. I never thought about that. You're right. And it could be that I did change my karma because I'm super big on making amends. There are people that have been nothing but good to me, and I did them absolutely dirty for absolutely no reason whatsoever. And to have that person allow me the space to sit down with them and explain to them, listen, I did this, and I'm sorry for hurting you. Not saying if.
But you admitted it. You admitted it.
You're right. I think that corrected my karma.
You admitted it. You know what I'm saying? And once you admit it, and once you accept that, okay, I did somebody wrong, I did this bad, and the one thing you can't do is keep doing it.
Right.
Once you accept you have done wrong to somebody, an apology only works if you truly apologize and not try hard not to do the same thing.
Apology only works if the actions are reinforced it.
And I think if you keep doing the same thing to a person,
that's
choice. When the karma comes.
Yeah, that's a choice.
When you know you're doing wrong, you keep doing wrong, but then that's when the karma comes.
To me, the most horrible person is somebody that I just told you everything that happened to break me, and you turn around and do the same thing to me.
Right. I'm
gonna plot your death.
Right. So, I think it's I try to stay on the positive side. I'm going to just be real with you. I try to stay on the side of everybody's positive. I try to give back to the community so I don't have to deal with karma. But who knows?
Right.
Who I've offended, who I've hurt.
Right,
I know the people I have, but think about the people that you offended.
Who didn't say nothing, they just stopped rocking with you. You right.
And I apologize for that as well.
You right.
But with all that's going on with Juneteenth, what are you doing? What after this? I know this is one of the ways we celebrating Juneteenth and with the businesses and things. But outside of this, what are you doing when you get home with your hubby and your kids?
We gonna.
Because I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do.
We gonna throw a little something on the grill today.
Yeah.
And we gonna talk to the kids. One thing. So it used to be at one point in time, I would make my daughter tell me one little known Black History fact every day.
Yeah.
And then she just started avoiding me because she.
That's hard to do. I did the same thing. I did that.
She just started avoiding me.
I usually do that during the summer to keep my daughter's machine working up here.
Right.
And that gets old for her.
Right.
I can do it for. I get it for do it for a good 2 or 3 weeks, but after that, she's like, Daddy.
You remember I used to do Black History facts every day for the month of February. You know how exhausting it is.
It is. Trust me.
To try to look up these facts that don't nobody know and then research it to find out if it's true.
It is. It's very challenging, and I think that you did a wonderful job.
I appreciate it.
And keep it up. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna lie. I like current Black history.
I do too.
I
do too.
Old Black history is terrifying. If you really read it.
It hurts.
Don't read the book they give you.
Right.
Go read the real book.
Right. Don't read the book.
It's
don't
terrifying.
Read the book at all.
It's terrifying. I sometimes that's why I tell people when they be having these little slave movies, I read the book. I don't want to see it.
I done read
the book for real. I don't want to see it. I know what they did.
You know what? Let me say that.
Don't give me the book. Don't give me the movie. I done read the book.
I don't want to see another slave movie.
I'm done with them.
We get it. Okay. If you want to make a slave, let me ask you something. How come you know what? Let me ask you this.
What's that?
If Irish people were slaves like they say, why they don't ever make Irish slave movies?
Because I think that
I'm not saying Irish people weren't slaves. They were indentured servitude. I'm going to tell you what they're doing. I'm going to tell you exactly what they're doing. Why don't they make Irish slave movies?
They're making money off our depression. They making money, getting rich.
They make money off of keeping us being Mary J. Blige, sad and crying.
Yes.
Mary J. Blige album ain't hidden unless she sad.
You hear it all the time. Ooh, I just can't watch that movie. But they still watch it. I'm not gonna watch it. Listen, when you read some of the things they done to pregnant black women back in the day and things of that nature, how they pull them from.
That's how the entire gynecological industry was based off of making black women guinea pigs.
And they turn around and have a statue for the man. Have a statue. So right. I don't get into a lot of the movies, but what I will say is
gynecology.
The current black history is amazing. You know, Barack Obama, Michelle Obamas of the world. What we're doing, different businesses being open and things of that nature, black-owned, successful, things of that nature. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the trend that black history is going.
Right.
I say that.
Well, I'll tell you something that I think is super dope. It's kind of off topic about this trend that's going on.
Okay.
I'm happy to see more black children that get to be socially fluid.
Yes.
Because when I was a kid, I was quote unquote weird because I wore DCs. Like I wore the cool hip hop fashions too, but like I was that black kid that was quote unquote the white black kid because I did things that were socially not accepted with black kids at that time.
Such as
I was a sushi eater already.
Sushi. Ugh. I'm still not a sushi.
And that's just because it's certain experiences that you are afforded sometimes.
Yes.
And it allows you to develop a love for certain things else. That other people may not because they haven't had that experience.
And I know exactly what you're talking about because now that I'm older and have experienced something, some of my peers might not have had that experience, so it's foreign. It's foreign to them.
So I was that kid that I was fortunate that my mama was a go woman. Like she gonna work and then she work hard and then on her off days we out of here. She pack her kids up and we out of here. We in Atlanta, DC, Charlotte, whatever. We always got to go somewhere. So because of that, some of my experiences may be different than the standard kid that was in our neighborhood.
Right.
And so because of that, I shared experiences with other people that don't look like me because they have those experiences.
Right.
So I was the kid that I was cool with the emo kids and the goth kids, and so now you're seeing more black children that are like that.
Yeah. You know what? When I grew up, I hung around with black, white, and Mexican.
Hung around everybody. Yeah.
I hung around one of my closest friends was Lil Juan.
Right.
Rest in peace. He's a past, but he was a Mexican. I think that a lot of people don't understand that. I'm a mid-hill home child. I come from the mid-hill home, so but as far as being able to indulge in different cultural foods and things of that nature, you were blessed to do that. I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't blessed to eat sushi. I'm over here eating noodles and bologna with syrup sandwiches.
My mama was that person that she was super big on just try it. And if you don't like it, then you still learn something. You learn that you don't like this. That's still a lesson.
It is.
And my mama was super big on, just try it. Pushing that, push the boundaries.
Right.
And I think that that's one of the reasons that I was super big on trying new things because it was something that was socially accepted at my house. My mama was never big on play it safe, so to speak. One of the big things about a lot of black homes, the parents don't want to rock the boat just because they don't want no trouble. So they play it safe with a lot of things. The parents don't want to rock the boat. They want to play it safe. Get you this nice.
I got to ask you this because it's part of my head. I don't want to forget.
What?
Why don't the parents want to rock the boat? Is it because we talk about it off air? Is it because of the quote unquote tradition?
No, I think black parents don't want to rock the boat because they already know the trouble that comes with you being a wild-haired black child. You already have a target on your back, so don't put extra eyes on you. So they want you to play it safe, walk the straight and narrow, be cool, because they know that one wrong move, your child could lose their life. So that's why black parents, I feel, play it safe because they want to preserve the livelihood of that child.
And I agree 100%, but I want to add, I just think a lot of it has to do with
fear too.
Fear, tradition, and religion.
I agree.
Most of our family growing up are structured by Christianity, the Bible. And if it don't coexist with what the Bible saying, and your child is not doing what the Bible say the child should do, it's absolutely unacceptable.
It's It's unacceptable.
I don't care if it's right or wrong in somebody else's eye. If it doesn't coexist with what the Bible say, it's absolutely unacceptable. And I understand that.
I get it.
But when you have kids growing, when you have kids that are
trying to kill themselves
for mental issues, and instead of you taking them to a real mental,
you take them to church. And that may help spiritually, but there's some underlying issues that Reverend Hunter can't fix.
Who?
Reverend Hunter can't fix.
Reverend probably can't fix his own kids, bro. But you take him to see. He probably got issues with his own child. So
Stan Watson can't fix this.
Stan Watson can't fix. Stan Watson
can't fix this.
Sometimes Stan Watson need to drink. You need somebody who's
a medical licensed professional
and has the patience and understanding. It can give you multiple answers, multiple. You know what I'm saying? Because a preacher can only give you one answer.
The preacher don't have the tools to figure out how to fix emotional and chemical imbalances.
Yes, and he only has one answer, and that's from the Bible. Right. He can only give you one answer. Whereas a counselor can move in different directions and dissect the person and start from the root.
This is my thing. I feel like this is about religion.
Because we could talk about mental health all day, but it's very important to talk about it in a segment like this because I want to make sure I'm pushing that message. But go ahead.
I feel that whatever you do, if it makes you a better person, I hope it works. I hope it, I wish you the best with it. But I will say this. There is nothing that you can say or show me in any book that'll make me not love my child, no matter what my baby did.
Absolutely.
Both my daughters can come to me right now and be like, you know what? I don't like dudes. I just like girls. I only want to date girls and dogs.
Right.
That's it. That's all I'm into, girls and dogs.
Right.
And you know what? I've killed 40 people.
Right.
And they banished me from the church. You know what? That's still my baby.
Absolutely. You absolutely.
And I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that I can fix my baby.
I ain't disowning nothing.
And I'm not going to say fix. I'm going to do everything I can to right the wrongs that my child may have done to others.
I'm gonna tell you
but there's no person my baby can date that'll make me say, you can't come in this house.
To me, when I look at things like that, man, there's nothing for me to fix. For a father to fix.
Right.
Because let's say my child gets of age where she is now 16 and 17 dating and she dates whoever she dates. I can't control that. I can't beat it out of her. I can't tell her the punishment forever. It's gonna be what's gonna be.
Hardest part.
My job is to make sure she know how to be loved.
I think the hardest part and I know this might be a broad statement, but I think the hardest part for black parents to realize is that your child has their own personality.
Absolutely.
Sometimes, unfortunately, black parents, we were raised in this very restrictive household, and it's my way or the highway.
Yes.
So it's a very do what I say, not as I do attitude. Right. So you don't give that child room to grow and to be themselves.
Right.
And that's a detriment.
It is. It's terrible.
That's a detriment.
It's terrible because when you don't give your child room to grow, you never know what they're going to go into.
They don't know how to maneuver in this world.
That'll be a loss.
That's how children figure things out. They start at home so they can figure out how to master it when they leave outside the house.
And I think that's how to me having a daughter, that's how I feel like she's gonna look for love.
How she deals
felt
with you
at home.
Right.
How did she feel love at home?
How you made her feel is to her love.
Especially when it comes from a man. See what I'm saying? Because a lot of times women will dictate how they deal with a man from their upbringing.
Her mother is showing her the type of woman to be in the world, and you're showing her how a man is supposed to react to her in the world.
You're supposed to, when a child, I ain't gonna say a woman, when a child leaves, in my mind, when a child, boy or girl leaves the house, they should know what it feels like to be loved. So when they get doing things like that, they know what it feels like, and they don't know when it ain't love.
Right.
When a man comes in, that's not it. So that's what I be trying to preach, man.
They're trying to teach you good love and bad love.
Who that person is, I can't control that.
Right.
We can't control that. If we're gonna try to control that, we're gonna beat our heads.
You're gonna be sad. You're gonna be sad all the time.
He said,
and you're not gonna get to see your kids or your grandkids.
And you can't teach them who to love and when to love. I mean, on a physical level. Like I can sit there and don't have sex when you're such age. But
you also got to be mindful of what it's really going to be.
I used to sneak. You used to sneak.
Right.
So don't play slow.
Right.
I just got to take it as it comes, and I'm hoping I'm doing the right thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. You gotta be quit. I want for people to quit preparing kids for these picture perfect after school PSA commercials and prepare them for real life.
Right.
Like, I'm not that parent, and this is just my personal parenting style. I have daughters. I'm not gonna sit my daughter down at 16 and tell her not to have sex, because if you bring a baby in this house, I'm finna put you out.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sit my daughter down at 13 or 14 when she first become a woman and get a period, and I'm finna let her know what it is.
Right.
And then we're also gonna make choices,
right?
Because sex is not something that we're trying to make not happen. Sex is something that we're preparing for when it happens. It's not. You're not gonna stop it. You just gotta prepare for. I prepare my daughters for when it happens. Right. Not it not happening. Right. Because it's unrealistic for me to believe that the same feelings and emotions that I had at that age, she's not gonna have. That's dismissive and wrong.
Exactly.
And I can't expect for my kids to be perfect and how to deal with emotions when I'm an adult and I still don't know how to process mine correctly.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think that was a handful of what you just said. We're not processing our emotions.
I can't process my emotions.
But we got.
And how you expect that, baby? So you telling me you the police, but you want me to be calm in this high pressure situation? That's what we're doing to our
Talk about them high pressure situations that you have been in.
Right.
I watch your podcast, and you've been in some serious.
I've been in a lot of high pressure situations.
I've been in some
I've been in
some very stout situations myself that I didn't want to be in. I'm glad I done got growth. And we don't have to be in. We can move a little easier now.
Man, listen, I'm telling you right now, I'm a firm believer, and I'm very honest about saying a lot of high pressure situations I've been in, I got out of them strictly off the strength of from a place of privilege. Either it was a dude and he thought I was cute, or it was I had the gift of gab and I was able to talk myself out of it. All high pressure situations I've been in, and I got out of them off the strength of somebody was praying for me.
Absolutely, praying for me too.
Somebody was praying for me,
and you learn a lot about yourself in those situations too.
Man,
you learn you a soldier.
Right.
You was a soldier in those situations.
You learn who's built to last.
Yes.
Built for tough.
Yes. And I want to talk about something that's happening because I don't want to move too fast, but like normally we be on the back burner, and we still on the back burner today. Mm-hmm. That's Father's Day. It's Sunday.
That's true.
And I told you if we're going to get overshadowed, it will be overshadowed by Juneteenth. So I'm not going to say nothing. Any other day, I'll be mad.
If I got to be overshadowed, at least it's by this.
It's at least about this. At least about a great, great holiday. And but I got to shout out to all my fathers. All my fathers out there doing your thing, man. What's happening? Happy Father's Day weekend, man. If you're on vacation at the beach or you just sitting in front of your TV maxing and relaxing, man, happy Father's Day. Great, man. And stepfathers. Stepfathers are so essential in people's lives. And they take so much and don't get a lot of respect back. So I want to give a lot of respect to all the love to the stepfathers, man. Shout out to all of y'all, man. Y'all doing y'all thing. And I just want to we touch on the fathers right quick. Father's Day, what did it mean to you?
Real quick, y'all, listen. Let that man have them kids this weekend. I don't care if you don't like that man girlfriend. That's not your business. That's not your business.
Right.
I don't care that you don't like that man girlfriend. Right. So what? She don't like you either. But that man love them kids.
Right.
And if you can't trust the person that you had kids with to protect your children around their partner, baby, you got the wrong person to have kids with.
Right.
Now, if you don't want him around her because she's a danger, I get it. But if you don't want them kids around him because you mad about her, come on, man.
Right.
That ain't it. But listen, let me tell you the type of woman that you need to be. You better welcome her, because as long as he happy with her, he ain't bothering you.
Right.
She gonna help buy school clothes. You better be nice to that woman.
Right, absolutely.
Send them kids over there. Father's Day is about. Don't you give him no break and not let him have the kids on Father's Day. You should have dropped them kids on Friday, girl.
So I'm gonna ask you a question. This is a question. So during Father's Day, if you're married, right? You married and you have a step.
I got
that's not your biological.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? Mother, your father, your child or daughter.
Right.
But it's Father's Day. Do you stay with the stepfather or do you send your kids to the real father? on Father's Day? Who gets the kids on Father's Day? The real father or the stepfather?
I mean, I think that would be for the kids to decide if they like who they got the relationship with. That's more which I don't think there's no relationship. Like if they both doing their job, I don't think it's no one's more important than the other. But I do think that the kids would probably I would rather my kids decide if they want to do something earlier that day with their stepdaddy and then do something later on that day with their daddy, or it's to me it's up to the kids, because Father's Day is about who was there for them. Who, which male had that role in their life.
Yes.
That's for them to decide. I can't decide who was pivotal in my kid's life.
Right.
Like, well, I can decide who's in my children's life, but I don't get to decide who made the impression to my child.
But when you say you leave it up to the child, wouldn't that be a little bit of a conflict? Let's say, okay.
Let me ask you this. Is there a variable? Okay, are we factoring in that both dads are amazing? Are these both amazing dads? Is the dad involved and the stepdad is also a great dad?
We're going to go both scenarios. But yes, and let's say it's a great stepfather and
the daddy a deadbeat.
He's not so great.
That's up to my kids to decide if they want to.
Because sometimes the son might want to go with the real daddy, even though
he can go.
You know what I'm saying?
He can go.
But that hurts the stepfather.
But see, this is the thing. It's not my job to build a relationship for my children with their father. It's my job.
I don't know that.
It's my job to facilitate it and make it easy for them. But it ain't my job to do it for them.
And it's not your job to tear that child,
hinder it either.
Yeah, or say something negative.
I'm never. Let me say this. I'm never gonna get in the way of the relationship of my children with their daddy.
Yes,
I never get in the way of that.
Yeah, and I think it's very important because fathers don't get enough credit, because it's not many of us out here that's doing great things. So the ones that are doing, you got to commend them.
Right.
And the ones that that's putting in that work, whether it be father or stepfather, I think them are the ones to have the kids on Sunday, not Sunday, well, Father's Day Sunday, but on Father's Day.
Right.
So I think whoever putting in the work should have the kids. Whoever,
I think
if I'm the stepfather and I done had the kids 365, and then on Father's Day you talking about, well, I gotta send them over here, such. I'm gonna be mad because I done had them all. I done put the work in. I done put the bread. You see what I'm saying?
I feel you. But maybe the Father's Day gift is that they gave you a break.
If that's what I want.
About that?
If that's what I want.
If they gave you a break.
If that's what I want.
You dealing with these kids all the time. They gave you a break.
And listen.
Now they punishing the daddy, making him raise his kids.
If that's what he want, then if he say, well, I need a break on Father's Day, then everybody go where they need to go at. But if they say, I want to be with my kids, then the kids should be there with them.
I think that, to me, I like I said, I would never hinder a relationship with a child and a father unless that father's a detriment to my child.
Right.
Like on some weird shit. Right. But yeah, I would never hinder a relationship. Just like my mama didn't. My mama rarely said any. I'm not gonna say she didn't, but my mama didn't really badmouth my daddy. In front of me.
Right.
Like I learned my daddy on my own.
That's real.
My mama didn't badmouth, and like she could have.
Was that difficult learning your dad on your own?
Learning. So the
older I guess the
more
I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're okay.
Because not only did you have to learn your dad, you had to learn his family, his side of the family too.
Mm-hmm.
Was that challenging?
No, it wasn't challenging because we all from Woodruff, so we all was around each other and everything. But what was challenging is having to learn as a woman that your relationship with your father doesn't have any correlation to your father's relationship with your mama. I had to learn to separate the difference between Duck, the boyfriend to my mother, and Duck, the father for me. Those are two separate relationships. Just because you're not a good partner doesn't mean you're not a great father. Just because he don't want you don't mean he don't want them kids.
That's right. And you had to grow up. You
had to learn
it probably had to be a real conversation with you and your father for you to get to that point.
It was a real conversation for me and somebody that wasn't my father that put it in perspective for me as a man.
Right.
He put it in perspective for me from a man's view for me to see it as a woman.
Right.
And he said that your father's relationship with your mama is a lover's relationship. Your father's relationship with you is on familial. That's different.
That's a lot different.
Your father can never not love you.
Right.
Because if a daddy really love his kids, he always gonna love them kids.
Exactly.
He can make himself not love your mama.
Exactly. Absolutely.
He's always gonna love you.
Exactly.
Always.
And when you built that relationship with your father, was that a great thing?
But see, I've always had a relationship with my daddy.
Right.
Always. I'm the only girl. I'm a
Okay.
daddy's girl.
That's
I've
what's
always
up.
had a relationship
That's
with
what's
my
up.
daddy. It's just that I had to come to grips with why my home doesn't look like the people's home in the neighborhood I live in.
Right.
Because my mom, the neighborhood we lived in, it was, family, like
Right.
2-parent homes. But my mama was a single parent living out there, which
Right.
was rare to see
Right.
a single parent, a black lady out here in this neighborhood by herself.
Yeah.
That was a
Nice.
rarity.
Yeah, a nice spot.
Right, it was
I
a
remember
rarity.
your mom's spot,
And
yeah.
like, I had to realize that sometimes the underlying tone of a relationship
Right.
can affect how people build with their kids.
It
And I had to
can.
realize
It
that
can. I think
it's not.
the underlying relationship with my father, and me and my brother had to build, literally have a heart-to-heart conversation riding after my father died, have a real conversation, and it built our relationship to like so tight. So now I talk to my brother every night now.
Right.
Because we had to
Yeah,
just,
'cause
it
that's
wasn't
not
nothing
his
bad.
fault.
It wasn't nothing bad. It was just
He
a
didn't
real
do nothing.
conversation. I didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing.
He
It was
didn't
just
do
the
nothing.
dynamic of his mother and my father's relationship.
Right.
But sometimes those conversations need to be had.
Right. My daddy, so me and my daddy's always been honest with me
Right.
about things. But I had to grow up and live life and realize that I can see how, if the blood is bad between you as lovers, can spill over into, I done hurt you so bad, now I kind of just can't
Tell
look
me.
you in your face. So
Tell me.
now it affects me seeing my kids, because I need to see my kids, but I don't want to look at you, and I can see how that happens. And I'm
Real.
not justifying it in any way, but it
Real.
made me humanize my father a bit more, so
Right.
I didn't carry that you didn't do this.
Right.
But, and I think that once I came to grips with it, it made it easier for me to realize that, yeah, you didn't really have your biological father every day like they show you on TV.
Right.
But you had your grandpa,
Great
who was
man.
that person.
Great man.
Like, my grandpa was really Heathcliff Huxtable for me.
Right. And that's
Like,
what you
for me,
need, the
like-
father figure.
Right, my grandpa was Heathcliff Huxtable for me. Like,
Right.
I lost a tooth, and like, it was nothing for my grandpa to give me $100 bill because I lost my tooth.
And I think, and I want to get to that while we close out, because we're going to continue to support and be around all these people's faces. But what I want to talk about, some of the memories, some of the Father's Day memories you may have had it with your father or your grandfather. Mm-hmm. And I want to go share one of mine, but go ahead.
So let's
If
see.
you got it in your mind.
One of the greatest Father's Day memories that I have from my with first my grandpa is I did this big speech at school one time about the importance of fathers, fathers.
Yeah.
And I did mine about my grandpa.
Yeah.
And I called him and I read the speech to him, and just to hear my grandpa on the other end, like I could hear him like crying.
Right.
My grandpa is super old school,
Crying.
proud black man.
Yeah.
Like my grandpa old school.
Right.
Men don't show emotions.
No,
yeah,
no,
they don't show
yeah,
emotions.
my
You don't talk
father,
about.
yeah.
Just to hear that let me know that like that mattered to him.
Wow.
That mattered to him.
Wow.
And I took that speech that I wrote and I gave it to him, and my grandpa still got that speech.
Wow.
That matters
That's
to
amazing.
me.
That's amazing.
That meant everything to me.
Yeah.
And like I felt like there's nothing I could have bought him that would have mattered more to him than that speech right there.
The one thing that I remember about my father, and something that I regret, is not looking at his talent, his gifts. He played the piano, he played the drums, he was in a band. He also ran the pool hall downstairs, and every Sunday as he got older, he used to do the radio, Sunday radio, and I used to wake up every morning and listen to him on the radio. And I thought it was so amazing that my father was on the radio, and I didn't know till, I started doing this podcast that he gave me a gift as well.
Right.
And I didn't know it. I overlooked it. I thought I didn't have a Michael Jordan to look up to. I thought I didn't have a have a person, a Shaq, to look up to in my neighborhood. But all in all, I had one. My daddy. The same gift that he had, he gave it to me, and I just now using it. So I'm so excited to remember and think about those memories as I keep doing this media and this podcast and keep growing, that I already had it. I wish I would have worked on it a little earlier. But that's one of the fondest memories of my father, man. This Sunday, he's waking up, listening to him on the radio, and he was doing this thing, and I'm so excited that I've actually kind of took some of the things that he did and try to make it my own, because he was amazing.
Listen, people don't realize I wish that people put more importance on how imperative it is to have a father. Like, one thing that I really do appreciate about my own biological father is, like, my sense of humor is something I got from my daddy. Yeah. My daddy I am my father's child with the way I interact with people, deal with people, jokes. It's that I am my father's child.
Yes.
And I am very grateful for that, because my daddy and I, by me being the only girl, me and my daddy had this bond that is just, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And like, my daddy is that person that you can't tell him I'm not the greatest person on earth. You're not gonna. He'll argue with you till you blue in the face, because he say all the time. He say, I had to make a woman to love me the way I want. He said I had to make the woman that I want to love me properly.
That's a whole different podcast, though.
I had to make the woman so I could feel real love.
Sometimes you do. That's not. We can get into that later, but that's true.
I had to make the woman to feel real love.
That's real.
He says nobody will ever love you like your daughter. No. She'll fight tooth and nail for you. He said your mama's love is unconditional, but that daughter love is different.
That's right.
And he said I ain't never felt nothing like that in my life. And he said when I look at you, I know if I ain't do nothing right with my life,
damn right,
I got it right with you.
And damn right. And
you can't tell me that don't make me feel like the greatest person on earth.
And that's the realest thing he said. That's truth.
Right.
And that's and I got chills, because that's how I look at my daughter. If I ain't did nothing that's wrong, I made the best thing ever happen.
To me.
You know what I'm saying? I can't believe it. She came from me.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And
you made that.
So
that's yours.
Right. I get chills, and I'm
that's
so
yours.
glad that
that's your human.
I'm so glad I've been in their life every step of the way.
Right.
I ain't miss a step.
She'll never forget it.
And I'm continue to go on this journey with her, and I just ask for all guidance and manifesting all guidance within me to make sure I do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is, man. And we just, this episode is for the pop-up, it's for everything, it's for Father's Day, it's for June 10th. I hope we served you well. Before we go, GiGi, tell them where they can find you at.
Well, you guys, you can find me on YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, Breaker. It's a 2 G's and a podcast. That's the number 2, the letter G, S, the ampersand sign, a podcast. I'm on Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, all of those websites. You can also find me on Facebook as GiGi LeFlair, Gucci Mane's second cousin on his daddy's side, twice removed.
You know what it is, your boy Mark Goodman, aka the voice box of the block, and we out. One.
It don't matter the topic, whatever it is, then you know that we got you. We spread all the knowledge, we talk about politics, even the gossip. You can hear us on Spotify or tune in to YouTube, you even can watch us. I know we got haters, I can promise you one thing that we never stopping. It's the Good Guy Podcast. I ain't bragging, but we are the greatest. It's the Good Guy Podcast.